Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources.
Washington Post World, September 7, 1239 America, New York. The Taliban consolidates control of Afghanistan. But women's rights protesters aren't done yet. Small groups of women's rights protesters in Afghan cities are among the final flickers of resistance to Taliban rule. Washington Post World, September 7, 1201 America, New York. The world 9/11 created a weakened, yet enduring, al-Qaeda menace. 2 decades after 9/11, invasions and missile strikes have done little to combat the ideology undergirding groups like al-Qaeda, and, in fact, probably fueled it. RT World News, September 7, 7:15 America, New York. Deadlier than COVID-19, but less contagious. What we know about Nipah bat-borne virus threatening to become new scourge in India. The Indian health authorities are sounding the alarm after a weekend in which a dozen people were infected and a 12-year-old boy died of Nipah virus, for which there's currently no vaccine.
September 7, 7:05 America, New York. Completely incorrect. Dr. Fauci pushes back on DeSantis vaccine claim. Dr. Anthony Fauci pushes back on a claim by Governor Ron DeSantis, RFL, that unvaccinated individuals have no impact on others.
PowerPost, September 7, 7:05 America, New York. The Cybersecurity 202, ransomware is wreaking havoc on U.S. cities. Poor IT funding and low salaries make cities vulnerable to ransomware and hamper recovery.
Washington Post World, September 7, 7:03 America, New York. Kosovar activists disrupt war crimes court officials talks. Kosovar activists have tried to disrupt a meeting of war crimes court officials with civil society members, accusing the court adjudicating cases from Kosovo's war of independence of equating the victim with the aggressor.
Time, September 7, 7 o'clock America, New York. A climate solution lies deep under the ocean, but accessing it could have huge environmental costs. Scattered 3 miles deep along the floor of the Central Pacific are trillions of black, misshapen nuggets that may just be the solution to an impending energy crisis.
Mirror World News, September 7, 6:55 America, New York. Huge 20-feet anaconda stares down camera lens as divers come face-to-face with reptile. Intrepid divers came away with some amazing photos after coming up close to the green anaconda, one of the longest snakes in the world, as they swam in the Amazon region of Brazil. BBC News World, September 7, 6:47 America, New York, Mexico. Flash flooding sweeps away cars after heavy rain. Heavy rain in central Mexico sparked flash floods in Ecatepec and Nezahualcóyotl.
RT World News, September 7, 6:45 America, New York. South Korea becomes first nation without nuclear weapons to develop submarine-launch ballistic missile capability, media. South Korea has successfully test-fired a domestically developed submarine-launch ballistic missile, SLBM, becoming the first nation without nuclear weapons to develop the technology, according to media reports on Tuesday.
PowerPost, September 7, 6:43 America, New York. Power Up. Millions lose unemployment benefits as Democrats split over expansion of social safety net. There's growing concern about the benefits lapse as the Delta variant continues to severely impact the country's economic recovery.
Washington Post World, September 7, 6:38 America, New York. Typhoon hits eastern Philippines, causing power outages. A strong typhoon has slammed into the eastern Philippines, bringing high winds that caused power outages in several provinces. Washington Post World, September 7, 6:29 America, New York. Explainer. Why is history repeating itself in Guinea's coup? Many hoped that Guinea's landmark 2010 election would finally give the West African country a democratic leader after decades of corrupt dictatorship. Washington Post World, September 7, 6:20 America, New York. London Film Festival welcomes audiences back to the movies. Movies from 77 countries will screen at the 2021 London Film Festival, as Britain's leading cinema showcase welcomes mass audiences back to movie theaters after a pandemic-disrupted year.
September 7, 6:19 America, New York. Opinion. This summer is a terrible reminder of why we must build back nature. Hundreds of thousands evacuated following floods in China, Pakistan, Nigeria, Turkey, Indonesia, the UK and Germany. Droughts across 40% of the USA. A record drought in Brazil leads to massive power cuts, while Madagascar is on the brink of famine.
Washington Post World, September 7, 6:17 America New York. Turkey aims to improve ties with Egypt, UAE. Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu says Turkey is taking steps to normalize ties with regional rivals Egypt and the United Arab Emirates. New York Times World News, September 7, 6:17 America New York, 1 in 5,000. The real chances of a breakthrough infection. A teenager receives her first dose of the Pfizer vaccine in Troy, Mich.
September 7, 6:06 America New York, the scramble to defend against Texas's 6-week abortion ban. Still reeling from a Supreme Court order that effectively blocked most abortions in Texas, providers in the state are scrambling to help women seeking the procedure and imploring lawyers and the Biden administration to think creatively in order to stop the law, or its effects, as soon as possible.
Washington Post World, September 7, 6:03 America New York. Mexico's bold break with machismo. Congress is now half female and gender parity as the law. The country is emerging as one of the world's leaders in equal representation, and far outpacing the United States. The impact on women's lives is less clear. RT World News, September 7, 6:03 America New York. Encrypted email website ProtonMail passes user's IP address to French authorities, leading to arrest of climate activist. A French climate activist has been arrested after the private email service ProtonMail cooperated with authorities after a court ruling, logging details of a user before providing it to the police to identify a French citizen.
BBC News World, September 7, 6:02 America New York, Afghanistan. The pledge binding al-Qaeda to the Taliban. The history of the complex relationship between the two groups.
RT World News, September 7, 5:46 America New York. Japan to purchase 150 million doses of Novavax's COVID jab produced by country's drug maker Takeda. Japanese drugs manufacturer Takeda has announced that Tokyo has commissioned it to produce U.S. firm Novavax's COVID jab, as the country moves to making the vaccine domestically.